everybody, it's Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser. It's good to be with all of you. So, hope you're having a good time. Glad that you're with me. We're going to play another round of Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game. Are you ready to go? Here we go. We're going to start right here with this piece. Right here with this piece. So, you've got this nice piece. What are your questions about this piece? Let's see how good a treasure hunter you really are. Do you know what questions to ask? I'm going to give you the expert answers. I'm going to teach you what to look for so you know when you're at the thrift store antique shop. Maybe you're at an estate sale, grandma's basement, wherever you might be finding art, antiques, and collectibles. So, a couple of things. What do you think? This particular piece right here, nice piece, footed. See the feet? Footed bowl. You can see the feet. You can also see indentation. Is there a mark on the bottom? Well, John, there is no mark on the bottom. And I want to remind all of you that when you put something in the comments, I answer the comments every single day. So those of you who are saying, oh, she only does it once in a while. No, not true. I answer comments all the time. I'm constantly trying to get you the information that will help you to make money, help you to find the valuable quality pieces. There are no hallmarks on this particular piece. This particular piece is unmarked. So how do you tell? How do you tell what type of piece this is? Do you know? Well, you tell by the pattern. You look at the actual pattern, you look at the actual piece, and you compare them with other pieces. In art history, I would teach it as compare and contrast. You're going to look at each one. And that's what I want you guys to learn to do. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time. Is it etched? It is not etched glass. That's a good question. Thanks, Elizabeth. Somebody came up with a good question. It's not etched glass. This particular piece is a glass piece, and it has a couple of attributes. So things like it has a mold mark here. It has a seam right here, right? Yes, we have the Dr. Lori Cam tonight. I was getting to it, but somebody's impatient tonight. We have the Dr. Lori Cam whenever we can use it. So I want to show you this particular element. So here we go. A couple different things I want you to see. First of all, do you see the seam line? The seam line actually continues, right? Didn't ask many questions, just went right for the Dr. Lori Cam. Okay, so I'm showing it to you upside down so you can see the seam line. And that line is right here, and it continues through here, okay? So the seam line is there. It is unmarked, as you can see, totally plain, right? And then the other side, I'm going to put this down for a second, and the other side here so you can see it as well. So other questions that you want from the Dr. Lori Cam. So nice and clear, you can see it. Other channels don't do this. So you can actually see the piece and ask the questions. What do you think? Other questions? What else do you want to know? Is the pattern applied? What does that mean? Is it silver overlay? Yes, it's silver overlay. Do you know how to tell silver overlay? Yes, Timothy, it's silver overlay. Do you know how to tell silver overlay? Well, I'm going to show you. So if you have your loop, if you got your loop, which you really definitely need, there's a couple of ways you can tell silver overlay. So a couple things. I want you to look at the very, very, very element, the point way on right there on the top of that particular, the very, very last point of that particular silver overlaid bud. Do you see that bud? Now that bud looks to be complete. Do you see? You can see the actual bud all the way to the tip. Now, how you tell silver overlay is you go over to this bud. Do you see the tip on this bud? This particular bud, you can't see the tip. Do you see how the overlay is now? That would be one of the things that you're going to see with respect to condition, right? When you don't see the tip all the way there in silver on the underside of where it's overlaid, right? Because it's overlaid on this side. It's overlaid here with the silver, right? This particular tip right here is starting to come up as if it's a decal and as if it's starting to pull away from the actual piece. This is what's really important, and these are the things I want you to see. So when you're looking at it, I want you to be able to see, do you see the little tiny bud tip? It's starting to come away from the actual piece, right? It's coming away from the glass. Two of them are, yeah, you see it? Karen can see it. Karen can see it, it's coming off. And that's why we have the Dr. Lori Cam, because I want you to get it. I want you to learn it. I want you to understand what you really need to look for. This is what experts look for. Not this, oh, I think it's pretty. Oh, it's a nice flower. Come on. I want you to get it. So that's what I want you to look for. These are the tips. You saw it. It's pulling away, just like you're taking a Band-Aid off. It's pulling away, just like you're trying to remove that Scotch tape. It's pulling away because basically the very, very thin silver is just overlaid with an adhesive. adhesive. It's the same thing. That's one of the things I want to talk to you about with respect to condition when you're looking at all of this glass, right? This particular piece. Now, other questions about this piece. Do we know who made it? Do you know who made it? I know who made it. Do we know the pattern name? The pattern name is one of the most famous, popular pattern names of course, silver overlay glass made by a company called Silver City. The pattern is, do you know what the pattern is? I'll give you a chance to guess. The feet are actually attached later on, yes. What do you know what the pattern is? You all want to know the pattern? Dr. Lori, tell me the pattern. Dr. Lori, tell me the pattern. Okay. The pattern is the Flanders pattern. None of you asked about the pattern. This particular pattern, I'll show it to you again with the Dr. Lori cam. This particular pattern is one of the most popular. You can see, of course, all of the different flowers. Notice the flowers. And notice this one flower right here. I'm going to show you what the Flanders flower looks like. This one right here at the top is known for Flanders. Do you know where Flanders is? Flanders is present-day Belgium. They called it Flanders, of course, in a period known as the Baroque period, when the Dutch masters were painting all of those still life flower paintings that everybody loves. And those particular flowers were united with, in fact, tulip bulbs, which are symbols of prosperity, and onions, which also are bulbs. So relatively interesting. That's what this is. It's called the Flanders pattern. And this particular Flanders would have been in an area with people who are known as Flemish. Today, it's present-day Belgium in, of course, Europe. Wonderful example, nice piece. And this particular piece, do you know how old it is? Would that be one of your questions? Because now you saw the condition. Thank you for the super sticker, Mary, because Mary's thinking, Dr. Lori just taught me something I can use. I can go into that thrift store. I can go on one of the online websites where I'm going to shop at an auction. Maybe it's an estate auction or some other one of the thrift stores that puts up their wares. And I'm going to know whether or not that silver overlay is starting to come up. It is not inferior production. It's a condition issue. I don't think the owner put it in the dishwasher, but this is a condition issue. Now, this happens over time. None of you asked the age, which is why I'm trying to get you to ask the age. It is real silver. Yes, Lori, it is real silver. Yes. So since none of you will ask the age, I have to do everything around here. Since none of you asked the age, how old do you think it is? I know you're all typing, you're all thinking, 1910, way too old. It's not that old. It's not that old. 1950s. Joanne knows this particular piece is from the 1950s. Now, I want you to see something else about this particular piece, and that's the foot. Basically, the feet, the footed area is relatively important. Notice how it actually looks like furniture of the same time period. People go, oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, furniture of the same time period. Wait, I have to blink this eye because I've got an eyelash in my contact. Sorry. Okay. But basically, remember that accessory pieces, ceramic, candy dishes, clocks look like furniture. What does furniture look like? It looks like architecture. So what you're trying to do, of course, is move those things forward. When you think about architecture, you can think about different places, right? Different types of architecture as well. And I want you to remember that it all sort of works together. I'll teach you more about that in a couple of minutes. So other questions about this particular piece? Any other questions as we play Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt? What do you think? Is it a treasure? Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. I know that that represents that you know that the information I'm giving you is useful information, information that can help you to grow your business, to find those treasures, to enjoy thrifting and shopping, right? To understand that it's a lot of fun if you find those wonderful, valuable pieces or those pieces that you just fall in love with and you just like for yourself. That's wonderful. What would the bowl be used for? Chocolates or candy? Typically, these are candy bowls. How do you identify a candy bowl? Well, typically candy bowls will have areas where you can actually easily pick up the small thing that you need. So it usually has these little indentations going all around. If you look with the Dr. Lori cam, you can also notice here the way in which this particular piece also has the silver right around the rim. Now notice the black coming through the silver around the rim. That's an indicator of age as well. So if you're trying to identify age, right? You're trying to say, I don't know how old it is. What are some of my clues? One of your clues would be an actual what's called antiquing or a darkening, usually even a black element on silver. You know, when you're trying to polish off the silver, you're trying to polish the silver, you're trying to polish off that black tarnishing. So that's what you're looking at here. This piece has not been polished. So this piece actually has been sitting for quite some time, I would guess. What's the best way to clean it? Now, a couple of things about that. Tips about cleaning. You have to be careful about cleaning. You have to be aware that this particular piece could come up. So don't be overzealous when you clean anything. White cotton cloth and just a light dusting. Don't use commercial cleaners. A lot of you want to submerge things in water. I don't suggest you submerge glass in water, because when you submerge glass in water, it could be a shock to the system of the glass, and it could actually crack it. So be careful of that. Start off with a typical white cotton rag, white cotton cloth to get rid of the surface dust. Start from there. Cleaning is important, but again, I want you to look for the quality first, because then it will be easy to clean it. If it has of low quality, once you clean it, you might do more damage to it. So be aware of that. What do you think it's worth? It's not part of the set. It's the only one there is, not part of the set. This one is the one there is. There are others in the pattern, right? So you might see one of these. It might be a bigger bowl, right? That's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at with respect to this particular piece. This piece is not brought into the country by an immigrant. No, this is an American-made piece. So guess the value. What do you think it's worth? What do we think? What do we think it's worth? So it's in good condition. It's got one little inclusion, that area that I showed you. It's a candy dish. It's footed. It's molded, right? And it, of course, has a lot of details that I was talking about, that I'm teaching you about, so you can recognize different patterns. You might see the same pattern in a large bowl that, of course, is a centerpiece bowl. You might see this pattern on plates. And, of course, you're seeing it right here on this particular thing. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about marketing, because I've been talking to you about sales, too. So I want to talk with you about that just a minute. So this particular piece has an interesting value, and all of you are kind of in the range, right? But that's what I want to talk to you about, because when you look up this particular piece, when you look up the Flanders pattern, Silver City, a silver overlay, glass-footed candy dish, right? It's worth $45. I have seen it listed and also sold for $12, for $58, for $65, for $22. It's worth $45. Why? Condition, quality, execution of the actual object, right? A little bit of the tarnish. I would, as an appraiser, as a professional PhD appraiser, I would in fact go back and say, hey, it's got to be worth a little less, because there's that little bit of the bud which is coming off. You have to analyze the market. The person who sold this for $12 lost money. Didn't know what they were doing. The person who sold this piece for $58 made the market come to them, probably waited a while to get that much money out of it. What's it worth? It's worth $45. So I want you to understand that when you were looking, oh, just look through. Somebody said on one of my video calls today, well, you know, I'm in this antique mall, and all of these established antique sellers are just saying, just go here, just go there, just look them up online. That's all you can get. It's not all you can get. I have been helping people get more over and over and over again. You have to analyze the market. I'll help you do it. Okay, next object. What do you think? Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. I wish I knew not to submerge a glass piece in water. I cracked my granny's carnival glass when rinsing it off. I'm sorry, Jan. I'm sorry. This is because a lot of the information that you might be getting online might not be from experts. So I'm sorry that happened to you, because you're trying to be clean and you're trying to be neat with it, but you have to be aware of that. So it's $45, Joanne. Just to be clear, this object in my hand is $45, because it would be worth a little bit more based on market analysis if it wasn't peeling up in that way. But thank you for clarifying. This particular piece here, I see a lot of silver overlay in the Goodwills. Yes, you can make a lot of money on the silver overlay, because if you buy this in the Goodwill and it's only $1 or $2 on the shelf because they don't know any better and they're just trying to move out all of this inventory that they've got, guess what? You have an opportunity to make, $40, $45 on it. Alyssa, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate you supporting the channel, because that's what you're doing. You're supporting, allowing me to continue to teach you. That's what you're doing. And I'm happy to do it. And I want you enthusiastic, and I want you to be empowered, because I can empower you. I can help you do this. I've helped a lot of people. I picked out some Picassos that were sold for a song to somebody today on a video call. I want you to be able to understand it. And I want you to utilize the fact that my expertise is all open for you. Okay, next piece. Let's go to the next piece. This piece is our next piece. This is one of the, of course, recommended pieces on our shopping page. Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt, I want you to make sure that you have the great display pieces. and like table easels and such. What would you ask about this question? What questions would you ask about this object if you came across it? Where is the plate made? Good question. Okay, this particular plate right here says, and I'm going to show you the back so you can read it all. It says, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to leave a finger. Just bear with me. I want to make sure that it's nice and clear for you. Can you see the mark? Enoch Wedgwood Tunstall Limited, England. So we know it's made in England. It's a trademark, founded, gives the founded. It says Blue Heritage Pattern. And then it gives you information about underglaze and detergent acid and the colors and such, right? Is there crazing? Do you see crazing, Brenda? I see crazing. So if you're looking at the mark, this information says Blue Heritage, and I want you to understand what that is. Mary asked if it's Meissen. Now it says it's Blue Heritage, and it says it's Enoch Wedgwood. If it were Meissen, why would it say Enoch Wedgwood? Okay, right? It's made in England. Meissen isn't made in England. If you know about Meissen, Meissen, of course, is German. Okay, so now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, isn't it Meissen? Is it a cabinet plate? Is it a plate that could be utilized in the cabinet? All right, so you've got this piece, and I want you to understand and utilize the marks, because understanding the marks and reading the marks and taking it to heart is going to help you. So Mary is already off on, is it Meissen? Well, a couple of different things. First of all, let's put it the correct way. First of all, this pattern is first introduced by Meissen. So Mary is kind of on the right track. So this particular piece is introduced by Meissen, and it's called Blue Onion. But I told you that on the back it said Blue Heritage. Why? Because they can't call it Blue Onion, because Blue Onion, that term, is in fact maintained by the pattern that was first introduced by Meissen many, many, many decades earlier than this. So this particular one is Blue Onion pattern. So yes, the pattern is onion something, and it's actually Blue Onion. The Blue Onion, it's not a style, it's a pattern. A style is mid-century modern. A style is Art Deco. A pattern is actually where we see the same thing on many different objects, usually in a line of china. So this particular piece shows you, of course, the Blue Onion. And I'll show you the Blue Onion so you see it. And I want to show you a couple of other things that I would like you to be aware of when you're looking. So questions that you might have about this piece. Here's the Blue Onion, okay? And do you see how it is muddy? And when I say muddy, I want you to get a sense. I'm trying to hold two things at once. But basically, when you look here around the outline of the piece itself, when you see that outline, right, you can see, in fact, how it's muddy. And it's muddy all the way through here, too, all the way in this neck of the woods of this element. Okay, it's muddy. That means it's not individual little tiny dots. And notice here, here's the onion. There's the onion. That's what you're all looking for. And it's muddy as well, because really this band that you're seeing going across here, right across there, that little blue band, it's darker. It's not supposed to be darker. No, it is not a decal. This is transfer wear. You can also see the crazing, the little crackle pattern all the way through, that you know that crazing means that something has actually been somewhere hot, cold, temperature and humidity has changed, and crazing has gotten underneath the clear glaze and started to crack. And that's problematic too. So now you're looking at condition, right? I'm focusing on condition, even though you have this reproduction. This is a reproduction, of course, of the famous Meissen plates Blue Onion. This one is actually made with not porcelain. Meissen would be porcelain. This piece by Enoch Wedgwood, made in England, is not porcelain. Okay? So, how are we doing with questions, folks? What do we think? Is it part of a set? Yes, this is part of a set. This is part of a service for 12 of Blue Heritage made by Enoch Wedgwood, made in England. Chips or cracks? It has the crazing, consistent overall crazing through the whole thing. And crazing is different than crackler. Crazing is for plates, dishes, ceramics. Crackler relates to when a painting starts to crack, when the actual oil paint starts to crack on a painting. Okay, good questions, good. Remember, it's part of a set. How old is it? These particular pieces, this particular set dates to the 1960s, the late 1960s, early 1970s. What is the diameter? Well, let's see. I would say it's 7.5 inches in diameter. I have my loop, which you could use to actually look at these pieces. Bone china means that it actually has bone ash included with the kaolin and feldspar. But if you look through the loop, you're going to get an idea of how to identify this. The loop is going to help you. I always say it's the money magnet. If you look through the loop, you're going to see the muddy areas. You're going to see the areas that really should be sharp. Right? Really like a beautiful pen mark, when you're using a lovely ink pen, that kind of thing. You don't have that all the way around here. You have a lot of areas that are muddy. Why is it muddy? Well, it's muddy because when they applied this particular transfer wear, right, they literally applied a piece of paper on top and then glazed over it, as opposed to individually painting each one. If you've seen them paint at Royal Copenhagen, for example, in Copenhagen, Denmark, individual hand painted, you don't have those muddy areas. What they're doing here is they're basically taking like a piece of wallpaper and placing the image on top of the ceramic. Other questions? I thought transfer wear was a decal. Transfer wear is not a decal. They are two different things. Transfer wear is not a decal. Decals are oftentimes placed onto, of course, decals are oftentimes placed on top of glasses, for example. Transfer wear is where you transfer the image from a piece of paper to a ceramic and then glaze it and then refire it. You're starting to confuse these actual names and titles, so be aware of that. A decal is like, a patch on your blue jeans. My husband laughs at me when I take my loop all around the house and check my artwork. Well, he shouldn't be laughing, because you know what? You probably have some valuable artwork there. What is he laughing at? What is he doing? I don't know, walk around the house laughing at him. But no, he shouldn't laugh at you, only because the more you look, the more you're going to educate your eyeballs. The more you use that loop, the more you're going to actually make that synapses function from your eye to your brain going, okay, this is good. Okay, that's good. That kind of thing. Would all transfer wear look muddy? No. I appraised a fantastic set of transfer wear actually a couple of days ago through a video, right? And it was perfect. It was beautiful. All of the actual seams actually lined up. The image was beautiful on the ceramic. It was gorgeous and taken care of very, very well. No, it will not all be muddy. So the fact that I'm pointing out that it's muddy may provide to you some information about this particular plate and whether or not this particular plate with the crazing and with the muddiness is of high quality or low quality. That might have been the question to formulate. Jeffrey, display plate not for eating off of. This particular plate would be a cabinet plate. Typically, usually when there's something in the middle of the plate, it's not intended for you to eat off of it. This would be the plates that would go onto the table when it was set, so it looks so pretty, and then whoop, they're swooped away before the meal is served, before the first course. Are grill plates more expensive than dinner plates? Okay, when you say grill plates, that particular term is used for a lot of different types of plates. Some will be more valuable than entree plates, which sometimes you call dinner plates. So we've got to make sure our vocabulary is right. It's kind of like the doctor said he's going to do a triple bypass on your femur. You're probably going to get a new doctor, right? So let's get the vocabulary right. Your questions, other questions about this particular piece. So I'm not crazy about the crazing. You shouldn't be crazy about crazing either, right? I'm also looking at the muddy application of the transfer wear. It's not Meissen, but it's based on a Meissen, of course, piece. Do millennials like this look? I'll tell you, blue-white is classic, and it doesn't matter who it is, but yes, millennials like this look. I've seen a lot of the millennial collectors who follow me right on this particular channel and elsewhere and have for years who like blue-white. They like to decorate with this particular stuff. Barware is always pretty popular with millennials. But again, these types of pieces that go along with, that barware, these types of pieces, because it's blue-white and because it's classic, is popular. Carlos, is transfer wear indicative of a particular time period? Good question, Carlos. Smart. So, transfer wear is introduced, and it's interesting because people don't always know this. The patterns that you'll see on textiles, printed patterns, are printed on textiles. As a millennium, it's nice. Thank you, Carlos. Basically, I'm 20 years old and I love blue-white. Well, I guess I'm right? The 20-year-old love blue-white. So that answers your question. But basically, the way in which you see a piece that is printed onto a textile going all the way back, right, into print works. And think about printing, printmaking, 1500s, 1600s. Textiles then get printed. They print chintz, for example. You've probably seen that. Or you've probably seen pieces that have that chinoiserie or Asian-inspired images on sheets, on pillowcases, on comforters, right? That's the same type of element as transferware. Those same types of decorations, you've seen them, floral around the outside, around the rim. On the inside, you probably have, of course, little pagodas, little landscapes, maybe a bridge, maybe a little Asian person wearing, traditional costumes, that kind of thing. So that's what you're basically looking at. And those types of things are, in fact, what transferware is pretty well known for. The same way they would put it on a chintz or a toile. You've heard the term toile, bedspread or sham or pillowcase. They also will put that same image onto transferware plates. You see them usually in platters, big blue-white platters. Sometimes they're red and white, maroon and white. Sometimes they're also green and white. But this is your typical. So what's Flow Blue? Flow Blue is a totally different thing. I talk about Flow Blue also in another video. You can watch that video as well where I talk about Flow Blue. I also talk about Flow Blue at drloriv.com, which is the hat right here. You can always go to the website and click on the research. Click on the research button and you can learn more about Flow Blue. If you want to use the binge link, do you know where the binge link is yet? I'm sure you do. It's, of course, the binge link is in the description right here at the channel. Use it. It's helpful. And you can find out more about that. So transferware is one of the things you want to think about. This particular plate, what other questions have we got? We know how old it is, right? We've covered that. We know what it's made of. We know where it's made. What else do we need to know? We know its condition. Remember, condition is key. What else? What do you think? You're binge crazy. Okay, well, keep binging. Are you sharing? Are you share crazy? I hope you're sharing too, but I'm glad that you're binging. I hope you're sharing. That will help everybody, and it will help me to make more videos. And the more videos I make, the more it'll help all of you. So I appreciate you watching, and I thank you very much for doing just that. So what do you think? How much do you think it is? Guess the value. And then I've got one. Then I've got a piece of jewelry you're not going to believe. You're not going to believe it. All right. What do we think? Values? Are you typing? Other questions? How much do you think the plate's worth? How high or low would you go for this particular plate with all of its issues? With all of its issues and with all of its attributes. 75 is way too high. 30 might even be way too high. 22 might be way too high. 30 might be way too high. Oh no, Dr. Lori, really? 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 Now everyone's going way, way, way down. Way, way down, right? Okay. This particular, and I got a 35 tops, right? What happens if the whole set's there? What happens then? You got to think about those types of things. Do you have an opportunity to get all of it? And would you get all of it? Or would you just say, oh, I'm going to only take a service for 6 or 8, or maybe I only want 12, or maybe I want every single piece. When it comes to classic pieces like this, classic styles, classic patterns, every single piece. And then ask, do you have any more? I'm looking for every single piece because they are very easy with respect to the resale market. I still haven't told you what it's worth because I want you to learn the selling tips, and the selling tips are going to help you. And don't think you only should sell it in one place. You've got to market in all the places that might have these. Oh, Sobel does not like it. She doesn't like it. I don't like it, so only $30. Don't go by your own taste. Think of somebody else, right? There's lots of pieces that have been beautiful, wonderful pieces that weren't my taste, right? 10% plus for a set, right? That's the question. Collection value, you usually add about 10% for something called collection value. My point is, even if you have a partial collection, you don't have a full set, when you're trying to sell it, it's a good idea to source all of it or to buy all of it. Because when you're sourcing and when you're selling, you want to make sure that you're thinking about what can I do with the extra pieces? Because you may not have a perfect set. A teacup gets broken. This happens. So value on this particular piece in this condition, which is based on the famous Meissen onion, right? On the onion pattern, blue onion pattern. This particular piece is worth $25 in this condition. Oh, okay, Dr. Lori. That means that in good condition, that's based on actual sales record where a similar piece has sold, not just a list price where people are listing things, based on actual sales records. Pardon me. So having said that, this particular piece, even with its issues, would have been worth more, right, if it didn't have the overall crazing. What does that mean? It was probably in an attic for a long time, or it might have been in a kitchen where it's hot for a long time. Wow, Dr. Lori, you're so detailed. Thank you. You're welcome. Because I can teach you stuff other people can't. I have to be detailed. Some of you are like, oh gosh, I didn't realize this. That's why you're taking notes. That's why you're rewatching the videos. I want you to get it all. Because once you learn all of it, you're going to know it for yourself. You're not going to be fooled. You're going to get top dollar when you resell it. You're going to be successful. You just have to have the information. You have to have somebody who cares enough about you to give you the information. Not just, oh, look at this. I really like this. And will you buy it from me? That's not what happens here. What happens here is you're going to know what you should buy. You're going to know what you should sell, and you're going to know how to do it. That's what I want to happen for all of you. That's what I want to happen for all of you. Okay. And what I want to also remind you about, of course, I want to make sure, that's right. Maybe they didn't open the cabinet door. That's right, Mick. Maybe they forgot to open the cabinet door, and you got to open it, right? You got to open it up so you can let the heat escape. The heat, of course, is going to be problematic. We love you and learn so much. Keep educating us. I will, as long as you support the channel. And if you can't support it financially, then I need you to share it. Thank you, Ann. I need you to share the channel. I need you to go on other places, other groups where you're not typically, and say, hey, did you hear about Dr. Lori? She's helping us learn this stuff. So I hope you will do that. That would be great. Having said that, a lot of you are also interested in the way in which we're going to put together and find these pieces. Lori, thank you very much. Oh yeah, I'm Priceless tote bag. You all wanted a tote bag. You all said, Dr. Lori, we want a Dr. Lori tote bag. We want a Dr. There you go. The tote bag is a lot of fun. There it is, and there's a special tote bag. That tote bag actually carried those 2 Fenton pieces. Pretty nice Fenton pieces. A nice haul for one of my followers and fans. And she said, I put those nice Fenton pieces that I found at the thrift store right in the tote bag. Perfect. And thanks for the photo too. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Antiques from Karen. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are all doing very well. And one of the ways that we're going to do very well is, of course, getting back to what we all love to do, and that is shopping, 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 right? We want to make sure that we are shopping, that we're enjoying our shopping time. And I want to remind you of some of the places where I've gotten to shop and show you how souvenir collecting or collecting in places outside of your region or area can actually make you a lot of money. This is me shopping in St. Kitts in the Caribbean. St. Kitts is known for these wonderful batik, bright colored sarongs. That sarong that I'm holding is analogous colors, red with purple. You have to mix blue and red to get purple. So analogous colors usually have that color scheme where you have one color that's mixed with another color, which makes that third color. And in that particular case, you have the background of the mixed color, that's purple, mixing blue and red, and then the base color, which is the red, which has to be mixed. But a lot of colors will attract the optic nerve. And when you're trying to sell something, making sure that you are putting up those colors together to attract the optic nerve will get you more sales. There are certain color pairs that actually, if you put them together, will do better. So on some of my shopping tip videos, I talk to you about, well, which background would be best for a piece like this, which is mainly green. So if you have a mainly green piece like this, you want to make sure that you put that mainly green piece, right, on a red background, because that will stimulate the optic nerve. That will get people to go to your listing. And that's what you want if you're selling online, right? So I've got a lot of those tips of years and years of explaining and helping people to make money with their art, antiques, and collectibles. But when you're traveling, when you're souvenir shopping, sure, you got to negotiate. Yes, you want to find the best things, but I want you to remember that you should always try to find pieces that are indicative of the place. And in a place like St. Kitts, sarongs of batik and those bright colors that are of the islands are very, very typical. I was there, of course, it happened to be a winter holiday, and it was warm there, so I'm wearing short sleeves. I'm all bundled up now, but basically it was a winter holiday, and that particular souvenir shopping, I want you to remember to get those tips when you travel. This is a place, of course, that's well known for, again, the diversity of the people in St. Kitts, the great French tradition of St. Kitts and Nevis, and of course, the plantation houses. Sugarcane, of course, was very, very big there and in much of the Caribbean. So remember, architecture will relate to the objects, right? Clocks, furniture, candy dishes, whatever it might be. but also you want to think about what's happening culturally in these places. So if you go souvenir shopping, I want you to think about, again, where you are and what's important to that particular place. In St. Kitts, you got to pick up a sarong. I picked up 2 because you got to wrap. Yeah, I need a lot of material to wrap around me, but that's okay. Thank you both for the super chats and super stickers. I do appreciate them. It means a lot to everybody. Everybody on the channel is thanking you, I'm sure, for your support of the channel now, right? Right. Other questions? We'll take, of course, I take your questions now. I take your questions, of course, at other times as well. And I want you to have these wonderful teaching moments, these times when I can actually teach you something so you can utilize that when you've got your loop. And I know a lot of you are buying the loop. If you cannot find the loop, then I really am getting worried about you as treasure hunters. So the loop is easy to find at drloriv.com on the shopping page. Go down the page. You'll see, of course, it will say Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunting Kit. Click on that. You'll also see the actual image of the loop. Click on the picture of the loop. It will take you to a page. That page will be the page where you actually will be able to purchase it, okay? I'm not manufacturing loops. So if you're not on the Dr. Lori website, don't get worried. That's correct. You just have to make sure you start from my website. But we'll get you there at the shopping page. It's right there. We're going to put it up. It's right there underneath in this, what's called a lower third from TV. Basically, what you're seeing there is drloriv.com shopping. Okay, cannot miss it. Look for it and open up all of those accordions, all those little plus signs that you see, and you can see things that you can design and display in your home, things like table easels, my recommended gem and gemstone tester and diamond testers, all the recommendations that I have, even for white gloves. Some of you were using white gloves. Thank you very much, Trish, on the video calls today that I was doing. Thank you very much, Deirdre. Watching your video starting beginning because I need to know everything. Well, we'll do what we can. Was in love with other people. Oh, with Arthur Fonzarelli back in the day. He kissed me. I was kissed by the Fonz. Yes, I was. I'll tell you about that in another video. Anyway, so I'm glad you loved the Fonz. I did too. A couple of other things that I want you to think about. I want you to think also about objects that are easy for you to source and easy for you to store and then easy for you to ship, right? So here's another one for our game. Let's see. Here's another one. Let's go with this. Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game. Can you see this? It's usually right here on this wrist, nice cuff, right? Put it here so you see it. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to get out the Dr. Lori cam. Don't get crazy. Kimberly, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. You're going to need your loop. You're going to need your loop. I suggest you get a lanyard. I suggest you cut it out. It's not jadeite. I suggest that you put a lanyard on this, wear it right around your neck. It's easier for you. Keep one in your pocket. Keep one in your pocketbook. Have your husband laugh at you when you're looking at your art, whatever. This particular piece has a mark on the inside, and there's a lot of information about this piece. What questions do you have? Do you want to know if it's silver? It is marked. Is it green turquoise? It is not turquoise, but typically these pieces are turquoise, right? People will say, well, when I see that style, I think turquoise. I'm talking about you. So often we're going to have rings. Okay, well, we'll have rings, I guess. Let's see where we are. Can you see this on the Dr. Lori cam? Here it is. It is not turquoise. There's a couple orange stones. Actually, they're not stones, but okay. A couple of orange elements. I'm going to turn it. I want you to look at that. That's what I want you to see. It's not nephrite. I want you to look at the silver work. I want you to look at the rope around the setting for those pieces. I want you to, those green stone pieces. I want you to look at the handwork here, in the silver. Don't overlook the silver just because it's a setting. Oh, wow, they're big stones. Yeah, they're big stones. They're very big stones. And I talk about, of course, those very big stones. I also like the contrast. I was talking about complementary colors, that orange and the green, kind of like red and the green. It is not lucite. There's no lucite here at all. Lucite is a plastic, a type of acrylic plastic. And then notice here, there's your mark. All right, there's your mark. You see it? The letter D with an arrow and the word sterling. There's your mark. Notice the weight. You can tell the weight from the side. And then, of course, the pieces, which are a mirror image on each side of the cuff. Okay? Beautiful piece. Heavy when you wear it, heavy on your arm. What are your questions? Not amber. It's not amber. It's not made in Central America. No, not made in Central America. Good guesses, good questions. Totally 70s cool. It's not 70s. You thought it was. I feel like it's a younger piece trying to look old. Oh, somebody's looking. Somebody's doing her homework. Okay, okay. Other questions? We still haven't figured out what it is, have we? Have we figured out what it is? It is not green howlite. Ah, it's harder. It's not lapis. It's not jade. It's not agate. All good. I'm glad that you have these ideas. Is it Native American? It is Native American. Now, that gets rid of jade usually, right? What might be introduced if it's Native American? Well, red coral could be introduced. Spiny oyster could be introduced. Yes, it is handmade. There's a smart question. What else? You're getting it. You guys are getting it. It is not a tourmaline. Not a tourmaline. Typically, that is not as dense, right? So you're all going, I don't know what this green stone is. I got to look up stones. That's right. You got to look up stones, right? You got to learn it right here. Okay. So the cuff bracelet, other things about this particular bracelet, Native American pieces, they can be very, very wide like that, the cuff, and even wider, right? So now the question is it for a man? Is it for a woman? It's not peridot. It's not peridite. It's not bakelite. Certainly not bakelite. It's not fake stones. Does that help you? Oh boy, it's not malachite, although malachite is green. So that's good. Malachite's a darker green. When you look at malachite, think about malachite and marcasite. They're kind of that same tone. One's very green, one's very charcoal, kind of silvery. Aventurine, no, Google's wrong. Google's wrong. It's not aventurine. It's not aventurine, no. Maybe orange coral on the side. Okay, these areas here, these right here. I missed that last one. I'm sorry. Let me do these over here so we know what's what. Here. So you're talking about these right here. Lori was talking about these, right? Are those red coral? Those are not red coral. Those are not red coral. Gosh, Dr. Lori, I don't know. Google is wrong this time because it's not aventurine. So you can say Google's never wrong, but they're wrong. I've had clients who have said to me, priority clients who have said, Dr. Lori's faster than Google. In this particular case, no. Because you might have put in the wrong question if you don't ask the right question. Oh, the orange is spiny oyster, Linda girl. There you go. The orange is spiny oyster. Spiny oyster. Okay. Okay, that's one of them. We still haven't figured out what the rest of them is, right? And if you want to learn more about this particular object, where do you go? Do you know where you go? To learn all the information about this bracelet, right? How much do you think it's worth? I will give you all that information on the community tab. How much do you think it's worth, folks? Here's how you get to the community tab. You can find it. You got to subscribe and get to the community tab on YouTube. Here's the community tab. It's where the extras are. It's where the extras are, right? Things like, it's when I put up things like a casting call, it's going to be on the community tab. Or I put up things like, of course, more information or an extra or a discount or something, the community tab. So every time you come to the channel, you got to get to the community tab. I play games on the community tab too. Okay, what do we think? Native American, we know it's spiny oyster, right? It's not flushite. We know it's spiny oyster here for those particular orange elements. We know it's sterling. We saw a mark. We know it's Native American, right? What else do you want to know? Where do you go? Well, what else do you want to know? How about the value? What are my guesses for the value? I know you're thinking, is it going to be sky high? Is it going to be low? Is it worth less because it doesn't have turquoise, right? So then you start to go, well, wait, it's not the blue turquoise we characteristically see in Native American pieces like this. It's different. So is different better? Or should we have just a higher quality turquoise? And does it matter which mine they came from? If it's from the Kingman mine, is that different than, of course, the Sleeping Beauty mine? What's the difference? So what do we do? So some of you are saying $300, $175, $2,000. You know what it's worth? It's not old pawn. It is not old pawn. Some of you think it's old pawn Native American jewelry. It's not, actually. The retail value based on an actual sales record for this piece is $2,500. That's right. That's what it is, based on actual sales records. This particular piece is made by one of the premier makers. And I'll let you go to the community tab to find out all about it. And you'll find out what this stone is there too. I'm Dr. Lori. Thanks for being with me. It's always fun. I'll see you next time.